I am 법과 스님, Dhammapala, a Korean Bhikkhuni. So I'm very glad to see you here in this community. Let's start this Dhamma talk by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. My topic today is the significance of Wesak Day and how to worship our Lord Buddha. The previous 7th day of May in this 2020 year was the day of the 2564th years after Buddha's demise. That day is called Wesak Day, which is the most significant holiday in Buddhism. But it is differently calculated according to the region due to the calculating method by the lunar calendar. For example, the Wesak Day falls on the 6th day of May in this year in Cambodia, Myanmar, and Thailand. Besides, the most of all Mahayana Buddhists celebrate the Buddha's birthday on the 8th day of the 4th month according to their lunar calendar. While Mahayana Buddhists memorialize the Buddha's birthday and Enlightenment Day and Parinibbana Day separately, the Theravada Buddhists commemorate all 3 days in one day, that is, Wesak Day. Moreover, it is said that the hermit Sumedha, the hermit Sumedha in Dipankara Buddha's time, he got the prediction to be an enlightened one from the Dipankara Buddha on Wesak Day, 4 Asankhya and 100,000 world eons ago. So, what is the significance of Wesak Day? When the Buddha was born, he solemnly announced, Akko ahamasmi lokassa, Seto ahamasmi lokassa, Seto ahamasmi lokassa. I am the greatest in the world, I am the supreme in the world, and I am the best in the world. Through this following utterance, the newborn baby, Siddhartha, declared his greatness as a Buddha to be. His birth was the origin of the Buddhism, as well as of the historical Buddha. In reality, it was a new epoch to the human society. We Buddhists do not believe in any creator God, right? But we believe in the teachings of the Buddha, who found the universal characteristics of the existence, that is, anicca, dukkha, anatta. As you know, sabbe sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara dukkha, sabbe Dhamma anatta, right? All conditioned things are impermanent. All conditioned things are suffering. And all phenomena are non-self. Anicca means that any single entity is never stable, never steadfast, never lasting, but ever changing throughout. So it is the basis for the other two characteristics, every reality is changing, even in a single moment. In one moment, one reality arises, and in another moment, that which has arisen disappears. This is the reason why there is no permanent happiness or no so-called contentment in our life. Do you forever keep your glorious happiness after getting any scholarly degree or earning the first salary or after getting married with your spouse? Yes or no? Sabbe sankhara anicca is the reason why we feel unsatisfactory at the end of our success or our achievement. Every success which is impermanent results in unsatisfactoriness. This is my body, this is my mind, but why can't we keep happiness forever in our body and mind? Because what's so-called my mind, what's so-called my body, they are not my one. They are not mine. In the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the Buddha clearly said this: Rupam bhikkhave anatta, rupancha hidam bhikkhave atta abhavissa, naidam rupam abadhaya samatteya, labetacha rupe evam me rupam hotu, evam me rupam ma ahosi iti. O bhikkhus, rupa is non-self. And if this rupa was self, this rupa would not lead to disease. And this idea may be obtained regarding rupa. Let my rupa be thus, let my rupa not be thus. Is it possible? My body is not self. It means that my body has no sovereignty or supreme controlling power which belongs to self. Just like that, our feeling, perception, and mental formations, or even consciousness, have no supreme power which belong to self, as they are not self. Therefore, our wish is, let my mind and let my body be thus or not be thus, cannot come true. Our body and mind cannot be controlled not to change, keeping this glorious moment. Since they are not self, they are out of our control. They cannot be considered mine. Even though our body and mind are not mine, we strongly desire for forever happiness. That strong desire is called tanha, craving. But this desire is not able to be perfectly fulfilled, as there is no control. Because of this craving, we experience all kinds of suffering. Jati, jara, vyadi, marana, soka parideva, dukkha domanasa, upayasa. Not only this, apiye sampayogo, dukkho, piye vipayogo dukkho, and yangpi chamna labati tangpi dukkham. Right? All of you know this. Birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, physical pain, mental pain, despair, association with what is unbeloved, a separation from what is beloved, and not gaining what is wanted. All of them are suffering. The Buddha summarized these sufferings as the fivefold clinging to existence. Clinging to matter, clinging to feeling, and clinging to perception. Clinging to mental formations, and clinging to consciousness. We cling to matter, feeling, perception, and mental formations, and as well as consciousness, as mine, as I, and as myself. What is the cause of this suffering? Tanha, only craving? Let's see the cause of suffering in the other aspect. While we are trying to grasp forever happiness, we are vigorously pushing out the undesirable things, right? That is dosa, hatred. However, there is one problem. That is, we don't know what is good for us and what is not good for us. So we simply harbor this idea that what is agreeable to our desire is good, and what is not agreeable to our desire is not good, right? All of us think like that. So that is moha, avijja, ignorance. It produces wrong view, doubt, pride, etc. Among them, which one is the real cause of sufferings? Of course, all of them are causes of suffering. But why did the Buddha declare craving as the cause of suffering? Why? Why? In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, right? Because craving is the very thickest one, the thickest one, and the strongest one. As a cause for beings to attach to their life, producing suffering. Therefore, craving, dana, is regarded as the cause of suffering. Actually, it is just a representative of all other various causes of suffering. If the cause of suffering is removed, there will be no more suffering, right? Yes. That state without any suffering is called Nibbana. We cannot even imagine this state as our existence is ever changing, ever entangled with the various types of suffering. But I believe that all of us can glimpse this state to some extent. Let me give an example. When I was young, I was suffering from headache. That is migraine just on the front left side of my head. It must be due to the imbalance in our body, in my body. It was so painful that it seemed like to being stung continuously by many needles. But it also was not steadfast, as you know. It's ever changing. Sometimes very very strong, sometimes weak, reduced or increased, or less or more or less, or more and more. Yeah, even though after many efforts to cure, it reduced the headache to the minimum, there remained uncomfortableness. Still, there was physically unwell feeling. Consequently, there was mentally displeased feeling also. All of you also have experienced these things, right? But one day, suddenly, that unpleasant headache disappeared completely. The medicine or medicinal treatment or meditational therapy would help to dispel this headache. But anyway, when headache disappeared, there was no more pain. There was no more feeling physically or mentally. I tried to figure out what it is. What is this feeling? But actually there was no feeling. I couldn't catch it up what it is. So nothing substituted that severe headache. Just there was no more headache. There was no more pain. I felt a safe feeling in my mind, even though there was the new pleasant feeling at that time. Knowing there is no pain now, I thought this state of absence of headache would be compared to Nibbana, which is mentioned as the state of non-suffering, right? But don't misunderstand it. The state of disappearing of headache is not Nibbana. It's not Nibbana. Nibbana was presented and realized by the Buddha and many noble disciples with ardent effort. But this episode gives the clue to superficially understand Nibbana. The state of absence of suffering is Nibbana. Right? To reach that state, we need to get right method, right remedy to remove suffering. What is the right method to lead to Nibbana? What is it? Yes. That is a noble eightfold pathway. Right? The middle way, avoiding two extremes: self-mortification and self-indulgence. What is the noble eightfold path? It consists of 8 factors. They are Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. Right? Right view, right understanding. It means right understanding and right thought, and right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And they are abstracted into 3 trainings. That is Shila, morality, and Samadhi, mental cultivation, and Panya, wisdom. The enlightenment of the Buddha is the discovering of such a great Dhamma. Dhamma is the universal law throughout all over the world. The core doctrine, which was taught and realized by the Buddha, is the Four Noble Truths. They are Dukkhang Ariya Satcham, the noble truth regarding suffering, Dukkha Samudayo Ariya Satcham, the noble truth regarding the origination of suffering, and Dukkha Nirodha Satcha, that is the noble truth regarding the cessation of suffering. And final one is Dukkha Nirodha Gahamini Patipada Ariya Satcha, the noble truth regarding the way of practice to lead to cessation of suffering. In fact, Four Noble Truths are the other form of the doctrine of causality. The first and second shows the causal relationship in the sense of world. It means in the worldly sense. Because of Dhamma, which is the representative of all the causes of suffering, the suffering in the world is resulted. And the third and the fourth are the causal phenomena in the supramundane sense. Because of the practicing of noble eightfold path, the Nibbana, which is the state of absence of suffering, occurs. Finally, this cause and effect doctrines shows the fact that whatever arises is subject to decay. Whatever is going to decay is not permanent, right? Yeah. And whatever is impermanent is conducive to suffering. This procedure cannot be managed as we want. Why is it like that? It is because every phenomenon, or the mind and body in every being, has no almighty power which can be designed as soul, or which can be designated as self. What we are doing is just wandering here and there in samsara, which seems like forever. But samsara world also is subject to anicca, dukkha, anatta. When we devote ourselves to materializing the noble eightfold path, we can reach the exit from the cycle of the repeated life force. And after delivering these noble doctrines for 45 years, the Buddha attains the complete cessation of his mental as well as physical process of existence without remaining any substance for further life. This is the ultimate example of what he taught after his enlightenment. Right? What is the significance of Wesak Day? The significance of Wesak Day is that on this Wesak Day, we commemorate of our Lord Buddha's birthday and Enlightenment Day and Parinibbana Day. His enlightenment, which led showing the real phenomena of our upside down life, right, which can be deluded by all defilement. we celebrate this Wesak Day by venerating the Buddha, or by pouring the water to the newborn baby Buddha image, and also by offering flowers, food, or any fruit, and also drinks, or what? Many things. And also oil lamp or lanterns also, etc. Or maybe birthday cake also. They are the worshipping of the Buddha with the material things. It is called the Amisa Puja. As you know, this worshipping with the material things. By the way, this material worship can be found in any form of religion, even in shamanism also, right? Because it is very fundamental and primitive form of worshipping. So if so, as Buddhists, what should we do, more especially for our Lord Buddha, to commemorate his birth, his enlightenment, his parinibbana on Wesak Day? What should we do? We should practice Dhamma, right? Which was only shown by our Lord Buddha. Our Lord Buddha, by him. Bodily, verbally, and mentally, he showed the Dhamma. So what should we do on Wesak Day? And we should reading and learning Tipitaka, and also listening to Dhamma talk, and practice the Dhamma, and sharing the Dhamma knowledge with others, and contemplating what we have heard, or what we have learned, or what we have taught. And also practicing, what should we practice? That is, so observing the precept which we keep. And cultivating ourselves by samatha and vipassana. All these activities are called Dhamma Puja, worshipping with Dhamma. This Dhamma practice is the blood of our Buddha Sasana, the blood of our Buddhist life. Without Dhamma practice, we cannot be called as a Buddhist. Without Dhamma Puja, Amisa Puja, it is not useful. We should worship the Buddha with our Dhamma practice. Do you think we should go to meditation center or the temple for Dhamma practice? But now, every place is blocked, right? Due to coronavirus, we are under control of government. When we are under control of someone or something, we want to be free from that. And also we want to be out of control. But we should remind that this control is not permanent. Not permanent, as everything is, everything, every conditioned thing is subject to anicca, dukkha, anatta. So, and let's remind that we ourselves chose our leaders by our hands. when we elect our leaders, at that time conventionally we contracted with them to follow their instructions if it is fit to democratic spirit, right? Therefore, it's better to stay at home when the government asked us to stay at home. You don't want? But even the Buddha recommended us to stay at home. At home. Do you know in which sutta? The Mahasatipatthana Sutta. In the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Buddha recommended us to stay at home. Let's see this sentence. Itakaye kayanupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke apija dhomanasam. Herein, the Buddha said a bhikkhu. In Mahasatipatthana Sutta, he mentioned a bhikkhu. But here, this term bhikkhu is not only a monk. It refers to any practitioner who practices Mahasatipatthana. Right? So here, a practitioner dwells ardent with the right awareness and with the mindfulness, having removed in the world covetousness and displeasure, contemplating body in body. And not only body. He said, Vedanasu Vedananupassi Viharati, Chitte Chittanupassi Viharati, Dhammesu Dhammanupassi Viharati, Atapi Sampajano Satima Vineya Loke Apija Dhomanasam. Contemplating feeling in feeling, contemplating mind in mind, contemplating mind object in mind object. A practitioner dwells ardent with right awareness and with mindfulness, having removed in the world covetousness and displeasure. Right? In this sentence, body, feeling, mind, and mental object. What are they? They are nothing other than our body and mind, right? Our body and mind. What is it? Body and mind. They are our primitive home in this life. We are wearing body and mind, which is conditioned by our karma. This is our home. The Buddha asked us to stay this mind and body, to stay at home. Everything is impermanent. Right. This is the reason why everything is unsatisfactory. Furthermore, this suffering cannot be controlled as there is no self. Right? This coronavirus also has no self and it causes suffering. This coronavirus is not permanent. One day it appears. So someday it will disappear. Whatever appears, it disappears. This is the eternal law. So at home, when we see coronavirus as well as our mind and body, as all the conditions are impermanent with the insight knowledge, we become weary of suffering. And at home, when we see coronavirus as well as our mind and body, as all the conditions are unsatisfactory with insight knowledge, we become weary of suffering. At home, when we see all the phenomena, including coronavirus as well as our mind and body, with the insight knowledge, as all phenomena are non-self, we become weary of suffering. This is the path of purity. And the right way to worship the Buddha, commemorating Wesak Day. Let's celebrate the Buddha's birthday, Enlightenment Day, and Parinibbana Day by through practicing Dhamma. Practicing Dhamma, where? At home, in our mind body. Singing our mind and body as Anicca Dukkha Anatta. This is the right way to worship our Lord Buddha. The significance of Wesak Day is venerating the Buddha and commemorating the Buddha's birth, Buddha's enlightenment, and his Parinibbana, right? And how to worship, how to venerate the Buddha. That is with Dhamma Puja. Yes, of course, we need to offer another material things also. But without Dhamma Puja, Amisa Puja cannot be fulfilled. We need to accumulate our merit also in this way, so we can offer any material thing. But the fastest way to accumulate the merit is practicing Dhamma. That is Dhamma Puja, right? Dhamma Puja is the right way, the pure way to worship the Buddha. So thank you for listening to this Dhamma talk. If I commit any mistake, this is my fault. Not fault of the Buddha, not fault of the Dhamma, not fault of the Sangha. Whatever mistake I have made in this Dhamma talk, please forgive me. And let's conclude this short talk by sharing merit with others and by reciting Buddha Sasanam Jiram Titatu 3 times. Idam no punyam asavakaya vaham hotu. Idam no punyam nippanasa pacayo hotu. Idam no punya bhagam sappasatanam bhajemi. Buddha sasanam jiram titatu. Buddha sasanam jiram titatu. Buddha sasanam jiram titatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.